Keith Urban.
Keith, what's happening, buddy?
Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad to have you on. Your new song is really good. It's Wild Hearts.
Thank you.
So let me say that. I enjoy the new song.
Thank you very much. How's married life, Bobby?
It's good. I mean, we've been married a month, so when people ask me, it's supposed to be like really great in the first month, and it is. So I think it's on course, right?
Yeah, but for that first month, every time you introduce Caitlin to somebody, you go, "This is my wife, Caitlin." That feels really good, doesn't it?
It does, and it was a kind of a switch up. I've never used that word, obviously, wife, and then I've been calling her fiance for so long. I did mess up a couple of times. She does sometimes write her name wrong, her old maiden name, which I'm trying not to be offended by. But mostly, it's all good. How's married life for you?
That's good. It's very good. Thank you. Congratulations, Bobby.
Thank you very much. Let's talk about your new song for a second. I do have some other stuff, but I really want to focus on the song here because I was looking at the songwriters, and it's pretty cool because you basically wrote this with a lot of my friends. Jen Wayne, who is in Runaway June, Eric Pasley, who is a good friend of mine, Brad Tersey from Old Dominion, and you guys all get in a room, and when you write the song Wild Hearts, who kind of has the idea, or where did it come from?
This is a song that they had written, and they sent it to me, and I guess the short answer to this is I rewrote the verses. The verses didn't speak to me, but the chorus did. So I called them and asked if they had any problems with me rewriting the verses just to make them more personal. And they were cool with it. And so we were off and running.
That's pretty cool that they would go, hey, go for it. But I would imagine if you're Keith Urban and you ask anything, hey, by the way, I know you have a kid, he's 1 year old, would you change his name to Keith? Maybe people would say yes to that too, right?
No, God, I hope not.
You're pretty wildly popular.
No, I'm also really respectful of songwriters, and that I said to them, if you guys can get this song cut the way it is, please get the song cut. But if I'm going to cut it, I just need to make it a bit more personal to my journey. So they were very supportive.
And after you write this song, how long until you actually take it in a studio and record it?
It was right away. We did it within weeks. And it came together really fast. I worked a lot in my studio here at the house and did all my vocals and all the guitar parts and all that sort of stuff here. And then we got it mixed, and it was all done in record time.
We're on with Keith Urban right now. What's the longest you've held on to a song where you go, this is a good song, but then you just couldn't find an album, couldn't find a place to put it, but then eventually, some point way later, you did?
That's a good question. There's a few songs like that. That's actually a really good question, because some songs just aren't right at the time, or I haven't gotten myself around the song. And there's some I can never get myself around. Chasing After You, the Ryan Hurd, Maren Morris song, was written by my bass player, Jerry Flowers, and some of his writers, co-writers. And I had that song 2.5 years ago. And I went in the studio and worked on it, but I just couldn't get myself around it. And I'm so glad it found a home. But some songs, I love them, but I can't make them mine.
This is a really tough question because it is so there's a wide base to choose from. But what is your favorite country song?
Oh, God, of all time?
Yeah, I know it's a tough question. So I'll vamp for you for a second as you think about that. If I were to pick my favorite country song, I would go If Tomorrow Never Comes from Garth Brooks. Like He Stopped Loving Her Today, because that's like the saddest song ever in country music to me.
Yeah.
Is the best when it's super sad. And Swingin' John Anderson, because when I grew up, that was the song my grandma listened to all the time. So those would be like my list. And now I've given you time to think. See how I do that as an interviewer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
What is your favorite country song of all time?
Pro.
He gets to shout himself out.
No, honestly, I will choose Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way by Waylon, because I think it's one of the most important lyrics, where Waylon says, Lord, it's the same old tune, fiddle and guitar. Where do we take it from here? Rhinestone suits and new shiny cars. It's been the same way for years. We need a change. And I you know, when they put up that Musica statue on Music Row down there,
Yeah.
you know, on the roundabout, I'm like, I would prefer to have seen like maybe those lyrics printed on a big plaque at the entrance to Music Row, because it's almost like a mission statement for the continual evolution of country music. And I think Waylon framed it perfectly with that song.
You know, it's funny you bring up lyrics, because there are sets of lyrics in my life that I gravitate to because I feel. And, you know, for me, the first ever songwriter, artist that sang from my voice, which is a hard thing to find, was John Mayer. And he has a song called Stop This Train. And he said, hey, listen, one of the lyrics is, you know, I'm only good at being young. And I felt that. I was like, man, when I get older, I don't really have a talent. And like, I'm only good at being the youngest guy to do what I do. But now that I'm getting older, like I felt that. And Counting Crows, they have a line that's, you know, when I look at the television, I want to see myself, you know, staring right back at me. And those lyrics would stick with me. When you mention lyrics, like what are those lyrics to you that you feel and you're like, man, I still think about those today?
My friends try to cheer me up. We get together at the Pizza Hut. Eric's church. And I'll tell you why, right? Because Eric and I are really good buds, and he is just, for me, he's one of the truly great songwriters. He will be remembered forever as a great, great songwriter. And so when he puts a song out, I'm really excited to hear it. And the first time I heard that song, and it got to that line, I went, no, you didn't rhyme cheer me up with Pizza Hut. Eric, what are you doing? You know, and it bothered me. I just thought it was a big cop-out. And the more I heard that song, the more I went, well, first of all, that's exactly what happens. It's a true lyric. And that thing became my favorite lyric in the whole song. It had teeth, you know, it stuck out. So I'm going to say that line right there. The Pizza Hut line.
My final question for Keith Urban, who's on with us. You have tattoos all over you. Are you getting to the point now where you got to go to the neck or face with something? Would you do a tattoo like high neck, low face?
Definitely. Well, I've got tats on my neck, but I wouldn't get them on my face.
But high neck.
A little line at the face.
I'm talking about that goes over like the cheekbone, like right there in the high neck, where if you wear even a turtleneck, you still kind of see it creeping out.
No.
Quitter.
Are you going to get any more?
I don't. Sure, I have some. I'm all on my left arm, all the same size. But I'm not like you. You actually look cool and can pull them off. I look like someone that shouldn't have tattoos and still gets them. There's a big difference in you know, your aesthetic and mine.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to agree like that.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
agree.
name on there.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, the song is great. I love it. And you know, I love when you put out new music. You know, I'm a big fan of you musically, obviously, but as a person too. So thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Anytime, Bobby.
All right.
Really good to talk to you, man.
There he
Always.
is. Keith Urban, everybody. We're going to play the new song right now here on the Bobby.